So massive news coming out of Lucknow, where a special CBI court has acquitted all 32 accused in the criminal case relating to the demolition of the Babri Masjid. Now, as we all know, 6th December 1992, the mosque was brought down by car sevaks who had gathered in the city. There were images of all of this. There was a lot of things going on. The police registered FIRs against, obviously, the unknown car sevaks who actually brought down the masjid. But there was also an FIR registered against those who were accused of conspiring to bring about all of this. And this included senior leaders from the BJP, senior leaders from the Sangh Parivar, people like LK Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi, Bharti, Vinay Katyal, and others. Now, when this case was taken up, it's been going on in the courts for a long time. Now, the trial was finally completed earlier this month, and Judge Surendra YADAV had reserved his verdict. Today, the verdict has come out on 30th September, in which the judge has said that he's found that the CBI has failed to prove that there was any premeditated plan, any pre-planning behind the demolition of the mosque, and therefore the conspiracy charges have had to fail. He's found no conclusive evidence, according to him, that there was a conspiracy to destroy the mosque. Now, this, of course, as we said, this case has dragged on for 28 years. There's been a huge confusion over where the trial would be, when it would start, who would be the accused, what the charges would be. As we said, there were 2 FIRs at the start, one dealing with the actual destruction, another FIR dealing with the conspiracy. Now, initially, these FIRs were supposed to be done together. When the case was transferred to the CBI filed a charge sheet putting all of this stuff together, and had said that there was a grand conspiracy behind all of this. When the initial Lucknow court had looked at the framing of charges again, they found that there was a clear case for conspiracy. Over the years, however, there were a lot of procedural challenges raised to the way all of this happened. LK Advani and the other people accused of conspiracy were able to show that the necessary permission from the High Court hadn't been taken when adding this charge, when clubbing the cases together. And this defect should have been pretty easy to actually fix, but the CBI didn't take action in time. The case eventually then ended up getting split into 2. There was one case being heard in Lucknow dealing with the actual demolition, the other case in Raebareli dealing with these claims of conspiracy. And eventually, even those claims of conspiracy, the charge of conspiracy was dropped as per a decision of the Allahabad High Court. Now, this whole confusion continued for a very long time, till finally in 2017, the Supreme Court stepped in, used its special powers under Article 142 of the Constitution to act in the interests of justice, and clubbed the case together, ordered a reframing of charges, and said that yes, conspiracy could be added to this. They removed the procedural difficulty and said, you know what, all these accused, whether it's Advani, Joshi, Bharti, even in fact, at the time, the UP Chief Minister Kalyan Singh, all of them can now face trial. They said the case has to be complete, the trial has to be completed within 2 years. Now, obviously, that required certain extensions, and so the trial had to be completed by the end of August 2020, which did take place. All the witnesses were examined, and now we've received the verdict. What's important in terms of what we saw from all of this was the CBI produced 351 witnesses, so a huge number of people. The CBI produced all these witnesses to try and say that, look, there was a conspiracy. However, the defense lawyers argued that despite all of these statements, despite whatever minimal documentary evidence was also provided, there was no clear link to show that that the accused had worked together to conspire to bring down the mosque. The CBI's claims that, look at what has happened. This has all been taking place since 1990, when, if you remember, there was one attempt to try and do it, which was stopped by Mulayam Singh Yadav. They said that from then till 1992, there was this conspiracy, but have failed to provide sufficient evidence for it. It remains to be seen now whether the CBI will file an appeal against the verdict. We will await to see what happens there. For the defense and for the accused, obviously, a big victory today, where they now can say that there is no conclusive evidence to link them to any pre-planning to destroy the mosque.